Daddy needs a little break for a few minutes. I have something I have to do, so could you do me a favor and go to your room and play with all those toys I bought you? And then you can come back later and you can ask me more questions. That's a very polite way of saying it, right? Well, instead of saying, okay, and then running down the hall, what do you think she said? Yeah, she said, why? And I thought, another question. Questions all the time. And what we want, and that's what this is designed to do, is to get you to be like a little child again. Most children are like sponges, and they just are so excited to learn everything. When they become adults, bad things happen. To at least most people, they lose most of the curiosity they had when they were little. I'll use this as an example. Can I borrow this book for a second? This is about the scariest book I know, so I want to use this. Okay, when was the last time you walked up to a textbook to open it up to read it, and before you even opened it, you said, oh man, I can't wait to see what's in here today? Okay, nobody does this. No, but people say, never. What do? You say, what page? I hope this isn't too boring or too hard. I've got a show on in a half hour or whatever. So it's like punishment to sit and read the book for a lot of people. Well, I don't know if I could ever get you to where you're so excited that you wake up in the morning thinking, where's a textbook? That'd be pretty good if I could do that. But if I can even get it part way that way, that would be good. And that's what I'm going for. Okay? So the first one, again, is asking questions, but it's specifically of chapter headings. Is this going to work in every textbook that you have? The answer is no. It depends on the subject. If you have an English book that has lots of stories and novels or whatever, this doesn't apply. But if you're in a regular kind of class, kind of like that one, that has a lot of factual information that's presented, it's got a lot of headings and subheadings in it, this should work really well. You just have to practice it and learn how to do it. And so that's what I'm going to show you. The first thing that I want to draw is a little diagram, and I'm actually going to give you a handout that shows this in a second, but I just want you to kind of get the idea of how this works first. Normally when somebody uses this technique, what they do is they get out a sheet of notebook paper and they draw a line right across the middle. And the reason you do that is because you don't need usually a whole piece of paper for this. You only need a half, and then you can do another one down here, so it saves a little paper, a little space. And then you're going to end up writing some information on the sides and then starting to write in the middle. That's kind of the format. So I want to show you what this looks like. And I'm going to be asking you a few questions in a couple of minutes. And I want you to see if you can come up with answers. Since we're talking about asking questions, I'm going to ask you a few. Okay, now before we go through this, what's the first word you see at the very top of this page? Active, right? What's the opposite of active? Passive. Yeah, passive, inactive, or there's one other word that starts with L. Lazy. Most students, when they read textbooks, are very lazy. And it doesn't look like that, because if I walked up to you and you had the book open and you were leaning over, it looks like you're being very active. But up here, who knows what's going on, and this is again supposed to try to fix that. So as you look between the dotted lines here, you see this little form, which is what you would actually write on your notebook paper. So you would write the name of the textbook, the chapter, the page number, especially the big bold print heading that you see on that page.